Hello, guys! Today we're making another episode of An Alternative of Humanity. Well, in this episode, we are going to see a lot of changes, especially here in China, because last episode I couldn't. I actually discovered why, and it was because I was still selecting something here from Indonesia, from Indonesia. Well, the first thing we're going to do is change the capitals. Well, what? What? Wait, wait a sec. Apparently, I did not add the main cities for the old capitals for the capitals over here, which is a big blunder, a massive blunder. But anyways, I think we didn't add it over here either. But anyways, continuing. Where's the other city over here? Yeah. And I imagine that's it. Okay. Finally we can change this. So the capital of Indonesia is Borneo. Over here, Borneo. Over here, this city over here. Also, let's see if I have to update any capitals. Oh yeah, I don't know why there's no capitals for the Red Nation. The Red Nation used to have the capital like over here or something. Actually, it was not here, but ignore that. Also, there's the capital for this nation and this nation too, together with this nation. This nation. I don't know why they weren't painted before. Probably after the chaos that happened here in Japan and in other areas, I forgot completely to do that. Also, the big, I don't know what to call that event. The big coming back? I don't know. Basically, when all of these nations came back to existence. But anyways, I think, oh yeah, there's also the changing of the capital of the Amazonians. As you can notice, there's nothing almost as a main city. We're going to change that right now. We're going to add one here in the main river. The main river is over. It's like here. So we're going to make a capital over here, which would, wait, this is the north of Brazil. No, yeah, no. What? Yeah, no. What? This is Guyana. That's Suriname and French Guyana. So this is Amapá. This is I just want to look for the capital of. I just want to look for the capital of the of Amazonia, Amazonas, which is a state here in Brazil. Also, oops. You guys have been thinking, why didn't I do more episodes of An Alternative of Humanity? Am I crazy or something? Yes and no. Well, the reason that I didn't do any videos is because recently I started a project, which is a game, but it's French Alert on Roblox. So, yeah, the name is Chill City. I probably just, I'm gonna still update it. Probably there's no water. Still there are islands. But chill out, don't worry. That's gonna change very, very soon. A bit too soon. Actually, not too soon. I had to do that before even publishing it. But anyways, now let's ignore what I just said and open the ideological map. The alliances, which is now going to be a bit different because of the changes of the, well, basically, no one in the no democracy is going to join this anymore, this alliance, especially if you're a monarchy, right, Russia? Yeah. Japan is a very pure democracy, but anyways, the alliance is only between these three for now, but it's probably going to expand. Also, this alliance over here, you're going to say that it doesn't work that well because there's a communist state over here, but a socialist state over here. But actually, it is going to work because of this. You can just do that and the world changes to you, really. Okay, now to this alliance. They are fascists. They're fascist. These Danubians. The Danubians are fascists, but these are syndicalists, which means that they are not going to go very well. That means that the Danubian Empire declares that he is leaving the Triangle Alliance for good until they change their ideology to fascism, of course, which is not going to happen at all. Then, of course, there are going to be like some exceptions, but nations like Spain, of course, are not going to be able to keep up in the alliance because they are a monarchy, which is completely different to what the syndicalists want. There are also these fascists. Yeah. They leave the alliance because they hate syndicalism. This was supposed to be the new alliance, like the alliance of the new nations that just came. But well, what am I going to say even? Well, this socialist state together with this these two central states. Do I do a centralized state? Do I do a monarchy? Do I do a theocracy? I don't know anymore. I think I'm going to keep the centrists for now, but we're still going to change that. Also, the Briskians, they changed their ideology to some kind of like fascists, like nationalism. So I don't know what to do now, especially because there's nothing in between the centrists and the fascists. Fascists. So what am I going to do, actually? Well, while that I can actually change. Oops. I can change the ideology of Danube from nothing to this. Also, isn't there an anarchy over here? There was supposed to be an anarchy. Yeah, there's an anarchy. The only anarchy in this game. I'm actually going to change the color to black, and nationalism is going to be brown. No, not nationalism. Fascism is going to be brown, while anarchism is going to be black. And now all of these nations are, well, fascists. Yeah, they're fascists because of the Guma. The Gumas, remember that thing? The Guma thing? Yeah, that's it. The fascists. Yeah, I should call them that. The fascists. It looks pretty strange, to be honest. Where's the rest of the fascist states? Um, we did it all, didn't we? We did. We did? We did all the fascists. Now we're going to do the anarchists. Yeah. And the Nazis are going to be, the Nazis are going to be dark gray. The communists, yeah, red. Syndicalists, socialists. I think I'm going to change the shape. I'm going to make them all circles because, geez, I don't want to just notice. Oh, this is a pure monarchy. This is not a pure monarchy. You understand? You get me? Now going to what actually matters. The Red Nation invades. Oops. What? The Red Nation decides to invade. Should I just do. Wait. Should I just do. Half? Okay. These. Holy crap. Okay, I did it. The Red Nation invades the Orange Nation over here and starts a war. The Orange Nation does not have any allies, sadly. Wait, no, they don't. But there's going to be many syndicalist nations around the world who are going to be like, what the hell, stop it. But they're not going to do anything about the fact that a fellow syndicalist is being invaded. That's basically it. How boring. Well, while the Orange Nation is being destroyed, an invasion is planned by this nation, by these two nations against this nation. Basically, all of these nations are going to invade these northern nations, including Korea. And the first thing that they're going to do is fund rebels. But they're going to fund the Yellow Nation rebels. Like that one, the primal nation, nation number one, I don't know, name. I don't know the name. Yeah, that first nation that I was talking about. They're going to fund rebels. And they're just going to gain independence. It's simple. It's as simple as that. But the thing is, they're going to have to change to fascism. So, ooh, that's a pretty interesting, I guess. The Koreans are very mad because they just lost a colony that they had for over thousands of years, and they officially declare war on Mongolia. Thing is, they don't have any allies. They call in to join again the alliance, but, well, they are denied. Everyone's like, no. So, now the Koreans are pretty bad, but the Koreans are very powerful militarily. They just destroyed the Mongolians. The Mongolians are still very weak, and OMG, they just lost a battle over here. This vulnerabilizes the front and lets the Mongolians counterattack. They make a counterattack on the Koreans. But the Koreans have already prepared for that. So, what do they do? They take back these territories, and then they send a blackmail threat. Yeah, blackmail. When they send that blackmail, the Mongolians send it to the whole world, and they are shocked with what Korea said. They said that they were going to lie about the massacre that the Koreans just made in Mongolian territory. Well, the people did not appreciate it that much and started siding with the Mongolians. While the Red Nation is consolidating these new territories. And now, these nations have striked. But first, Tibet is going to strike here. They invade this nation over here with the objective of gaining new lands to invade the Red Nation, the Green Nation, and the Red Nation, the other Red Nation. They hop around this river and destroy the brownish nation over here. For now, this is going to be militarily occupied, but the whole alliance has already noticed what happened, and still, if there was that horrible blackmail threat, Korea is reaccepted into the alliance, together with India. But then, the anti-Mongolian coalition occurs, which is basically just an anti-Red Nation alliance. Basically that. The alliance is created on June 2014, and the first members are these members over here and this nation over here. Then, with a turn of events, Hainan tries to join, but they fail due to ideas like Hainan still having borders with the Red Nation could later just betray us. And so, Vietnam joins the war. Vietnam decides to occupy these terrains over here. Oopsie. They decide to... What? Oh. They decide to take these territories over here to invade the Indians. Yeah, the Indians. The Perso-Indians. And the Great Invasion of India has officially begun. Vietnamese troops join here on the north, by the south. Many Tibetan troops show up on this border. These Persians over here, this Persian nation over here, they call their allies to make a massive, wide-scale invasion of India, northern India. And Sri Lanka then decides to make a naval invasion on India over here. But remember this, northern India never surrenders. Still, if it's a 50 to 1, 1,000 to 1, they are still going to fight. It's like what Iroh said that one episode. You guys, we may be outnumbered, but you're clearly outmatched. It was something like that. And then they destroyed the Earth soldiers. I don't know vocabulary. I'm really bad at vocabulary. Well, continuing. The Red Nation also decides to invade the Indians. But then, India launches their secret move. Nuclear bombs. Yes, they still have nuclear bombs. And this is not going to be fun. What? And this is not going to be fun. Oops. Basically, the first nation that is going to be attacked by the bomb is Tibet. You guys may have thought that it was someone else. No, it was Tibet. A nuclear bomb is seen coming across the lines, and it hits this main city. They also throw a nuclear bomb on this nation, and it hits the capital. They also throw another bomb, and it falls over here. The fourth bomb is thrown at the second capital, and it hits this capital. They launch their last bomb for now, and it hits this capital. So, right now, what happened? Many bombs, just many bombs thrown across all of these territories. So basically, the Indians are going to be able to come back to attack the Persians. Well, the counterattack goes perfectly. These armies are able to take away the rest of these powers, but they still aren't really able to take all of this terrain. They're just able to capture, for now, all of this. But that's going to quickly change. Quickly. For now, they didn't throw a bomb into Sri Lanka, but they want to. Really want to. Then they start their counterattack over here. They firstly invade this part and splits the nation into half. Then they ravage the nation, taking everything they can. Everything. So what happens is now this Caspian Sea nation collapses. Also, the Indus retakes these territories that were invaded. Tibet is threatened to be forced to leave, but they resist. So they will be treated the way the Caspians were, by taking their land. They invaded this area over here, but now it's not tactical nukes. It's comparable to, let me see. It's not Tsar Bomba, but it's already enough to destroy the whole city and everything around it. Like, this is the mushroom cloud. This is where all the effects occur. So if we launched something here in Japan, it would expand to probably another nation, which is horrible, noticing that it would probably spread up north. Now, they also attack the capital of the Tibetans, but it's not going to be that easy. Firstly, they have to capture this lake. Why? Just because of the looks. Then they try to attack over here again, but they firstly fail, and then the next time they almost succeed, but they're taken away again. This process is going to take a little while, but while this, let's talk about Vietnam. Vietnam wasn't attacked by any nuclear bomb yet, and their campaign is going pretty successful. They managed to take over here, territories over here, down south. But now it's their time to collapse. Wait, I just need to add here the number of bombs. Well, India now has, let's say, 110 bombs. That's a lot. Like, a very, very lot. And I'm not going to be like Wixo and add the ones that are outside of him. I'm just going to include the ones that are in his territory. Portugal has an arsenal of 15 bombs. I have an arsenal of 12 bombs. Brisk has recently made its first bomb, and Northern Africa now has an arsenal of 10 bombs. Korea has access to 1 bomb. Hainan also has 1 bomb. Sri Lanka has approximately 76 bombs. Tanzania has reached a number of 7 bombs. Brazil now has 26 bombs. And Florida has 5 bombs. These are the bombs around the world. Let me just do bombs. Like Bombi. Isn't Bombi the name of... Well, anyways, no. I'm going to have to do this. It's been some time since I didn't go over here. Anyways, now it's time for more destruction. Sri Lanka throws a bomb over here, and it hits this city. They throw a bomb from here, and it hits this city over here. They throw a nuclear bomb from the capital, and it reaches this capital over here. There's not even a reason to do that. But anyways, they throw a bomb from their closest city to Mongolia. To Mongolia. It hits the Spain city. Now, all of these nations are fricked. They give a bomb to the Red Nation and the Green Nation just for any help. Let's see, we threw 1 bomb, 2 bomb, no. 1 bomb, 2 bombs, 3 bombs, 4 bombs. And I think that was it. Wait a sec. They threw it over here and it hit it here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they lost 5. For me, it looked like 7. I don't know why. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6. So 4. 100 and... Oh, I'm going to have to erase it. 104. Now, there are only 104 bombs in, well, in India. Now, to keep up with the invasion, the Tibetans officially lose their capital, but they do not surrender yet. The Arabian nations try to buy this terrain from the Indians. The Indians say, sure, and they take this area. Middle India is taken, conquered, and this is a sign of war. So, what happens? The war continues. The Sri Lankans invade India again. This time, they are more successful reaching these areas over here. They also hop around these main cities with a general, which I do not know the name, coming over here. Amir. Yes, I finally found a name. I finally thought of a name. Amir reaches these cities over here. And they also reach this city here. They connect, splitting the territories, and it looks like India is pretty crappy. It's pretty crabbed. But remember, India never surrenders. So now, 5 more bombs are going to be launched. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, and lastly, 5. Sri Lanka survives for just a little speck. They almost die. But this one nuclear bomb is enough for this port to expand its territory, and they're able to reconquer great part of all of the territories that they had lost. Now it looks like the Sri Lankans are winning. Still, if the Sri Lankans are definitely close to the capital. But still, the Indians look like a god, basically. But they're not. They're still weak. They can still be conquered. This northern nation over here is captured. And finally, the invasion of Mongolia. Southern Mongolia starts to be invaded by Indian troops. Green troops finally receive the power of the bomb, and they start their own invasion over here. The Red Nation does the same. They invade southern Mongolia, and Korea continues their invasion. Now, basically a joint army. Decides to come together to destroy Mongolia. And so, it happens. Mongolia is really going to lose. It's almost imminent. Russia then enters a civil war. Doesn't look really important. Then the Purple Nation decides to go against India. China is its own nation, not India. They're firstly going to invade the Red Nation, which are sadly forced to surrender. And the invasion starts. The second coalition against India begins. But now, the Indians are trillions of times more prepared, especially with all of the bombs. Talking about bombs, 5 were, well, thrown away, so now we have 99 bombs for this nation. Well, coming back to the normal map, they then do another throwing of bombs. The first bomb falls here, which actually harms the Green Nation too, which pisses them off. The second bomb falls over here, but Sri Lanka throws a bomb over here, and they barely miss the capital. So now, change that to a what? Change that to a 1. And wait. Change that to wait, did I 1 and 2? Yeah, 2. So 97. Now, India looks pretty attacked. They attack. It's getting pretty interesting. What will happen by now? No one knows. Except me, of course. I know the whole future of the world. But the first thing now is that surrendering is forced over here. Only the Red Nation can survive. But for that to happen, this alliance is abolished. Remember when I talked about the game? Now noticing. Talking about games, do you guys want some gaming content? Possibly? I'm just asking. Anyways. Now, the Red Nation survives. The rest are still at war. Going here, over here, a new Pope is elected. Yes, today, Pope Leo the 14th was. Finally, he became the Pope. So it was basically a reference. But he was actually a bit militaristic, which is a bit scary. They force the Mediterranean Republic to sell Malta, and the Anatolians invade these two nations. Well, it is getting pretty. It's starting to warm up a bit. But, anyways, the Guma and the Turo. Remember that alliance? Yeah, the African alliance. Maybe we can abolish that and change the alliance to be the Gumas, or just the anti-Turos. Yeah, that happens. The anti-Turo alliance. All of these nations are now anti-Turos. Well, these three nations are still normal members. Now, in the religious map, the Gumas, they expand more here south. Not much ethnic cleansing, I'd say. It's more like conversion tactics. It's like when the Portuguese reached the Americas. Basically that. Well, the Guma and the Turo are starting to really get different one from each other. For example, the Guma and the Turo are basically already opposites, but they are splitting more somehow. I don't know how to explain really well. But anyways, sadly, the ethnic cleansing continues. And now, going over here, this nation over here makes their own religion, different from that other religion that I just said, but it's going to take some time for them to expand to, let's just put that to 100. It's going to start at the capital and it's going to expand around their nation. It's possibly not going to reach the whole nation, but let's see. Also, with the Incan religion back, they expand more and more with the rise of nationalism in the nation. And finally, they connect their territories. Oh, and they did not connect it anymore. Now they're connected. It's starting to expand a bit more over here. Did I do something wrong? Did I do something wrong? Nope. Okay, continuing. Oops. Well, the Incan religion has expanded, of course. This religion was created. The Brazilian religion still is roaming. There's also the religious split over here. But now there's ethnic cleansing, which it is pretty bad, but people call it necessary for the evolution of the nation. I'd not say so, really. But let's just let them have their thoughts, I guess. Now, this religion is expanding more over here. The Arabian religion. While the Arabian religion is also expanding here, the Hijaz. It's the Hijaz, right? The Hijaz. The Islams, I'm going to say, I call them Islamics. The Islamics, they take away the Americans from their island. Then the the medical religion expands to all of Germany, except this part, which is now going to be. Now all of Germany has been converted. Portugal is still one strong. I think all of Europe is. Poland is trying its best, but it's miserably failing. The Gdański religion collapses, coming back with the Teutonic religion, which actually is pretty expanded. It even takes some territories from the medicals. Yeah, the medical religion. Well, remember when this religion was completely unified? Not anymore. Norway is mostly medical. Yeah, Norway is medical, basically. And the whole nation can't do anything about it, but now there's independence movements over here, which is going to be a pain in their own size. Together with here, too. Well, I think that's it for today's episode. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this growing chaos. So, goodbye.